BMW Race Driver Series for 2014-15, and this, Jeff Story, is a bit of a clash of the titans, isn't it? On the inside, as we look at it, three-time champion Marty Irvine, a little bit damaged from a race previous to today, and outside of him, Matt Griffin. Don't forget Richard Oxton, the son of motorsport legend David, and young Reid Harker, a hard charger coming out of karts and into the E30s.
Yeah, we've also got Matt Griffin, who's an ex-championship winner, who's right up behind Marty Irvine, behind him Richard Oxton, and Matt Griffin's made a comeback into the E30 series after being away for a little while, and we've got in the top five, we've got 2 318i's and we've got 3 320s, so it's going to be interesting. The 318i's handle a little bit better, the 320i's go a little bit better.
I mentioned in the introduction that Marty Irvine a little bit damaged. He had a bit of a contact issue in the previous race. I know they've fixed that car to the best of their abilities, but maybe he's a little bit handicapped.
Yes, he certainly was feeling that the car might be a little bit off the pace, but to clarify that a little bit, even when he was damaged, his lap after damage was the best lap that he'd had in the whole race. So who can tell? He's a very, very good driver. The car's very quick.
Well, you don't become a three-time champion without having a little bit of talent as well. And Marty's never lacked that in his qualifying time. Absolutely stunning. The only one under the 152 mark. Won't see those lap times here in the wet conditions at Taupo, but it just sent a marker to the rest of the field as if, catch me if you can. We're into a new championship season. I'm the one to beat.
Yeah, it'd certainly be interesting. A lot of those cars would have been on the dummy grid and prepared for a dry race, and they would have been hastily making setup changes, softening the suspension, checking tyre pressures and making alterations.
Just a slight little mistake. You saw the tail step out there of Matt Griffin's car. That's so costly in these evenly matched races, isn't it?
Absolutely, and Marty's an absolute legend in terms of exit speed out of corners, and that's where he gets his pace and his brake. They don't run limited slip diffs, they run open diffs, 4.1 ratio. So one wheel lifts, then you're going to start losing the back end a little bit. They do correct very, very quickly. 318i should handle a little bit better, but Marty's car's exceptionally well set up. Panel beater by Trainer, owns the business. That car is one of the top cars, well prepared.
Well, as I mentioned before, a three-time champion. He's the current defending champion. He won also in 2012, 2013. He's on the podium in 2011 and 12, and he won first up in 2009, 2010. So he's got the C word too, consistency.
Absolutely. If you watch his driving, he's particularly smooth. His braking points are absolutely right on the button. The apexes are taken right where you want them. And as I said, the exit speed, he's always got the speed out of the corners.
Well, the lap times have fallen away, as you would expect, with the rain. Fastest man on the racetrack at the moment is Marty Irvine, but there's not a lot in it. 201, I beg your pardon, 567 to 201, 665. So absolutely nothing in it. As we watch these two battling it out, wipers on, full speed.
Certainly won't be an issue of tyres going off. The question is tyres getting up to temperature, actually, and that's one of the issues. The Toyo tyres went up to temperature, just amazing, both in the wet and dry. The difficulty is if they've set up for dry and they've come out into wet, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble at this stage. But there's certainly nothing between the cars. Matt Griffin catches through the infield. Marty Irvine pulls away through the straights and the longer sections.
The 999, the Speed Floors car of Matt Griffin, he's done a 2:003. Marty Irvine's best time at 2:006, so there's nothing in it, but it's Irvine still leading. Gentle lock up there. Oh, and he's gone straight away. Well, it put the commentator's curse on him, and Matt Griffin has thrown away a good second place, or has he? Because they had a pretty good advantage. He has a look out the side of the car. Jeff, we better explain that under the BMW rules, you've got to wait for the traffic, don't you? You can't just drive back onto the racetrack.
Certainly, it's the committee monitor driver issues very, very closely, and you've got to be absolutely clear when coming onto the track once you've gone off. And in that stage, waiting for the entire field would have been a little bit problematic for Matt. He's made sure he's clear, and he's back now. And we've got Richard Oxton, who's now moved ahead of him, and Reid Harker right on Matt Griffin's tail. So just overcooking it a little bit has resulted in a loss of at least one place and probably a couple more. Well,
it can change in an instant, but now we've got quite a battle here. A little bit of a tap from Matt Griffin on the back bumper of Richard Oxton's BMW as they work their way across the stripe. Once again, three-quarter distance here. Reid Harker getting racy as well. He's decided that he senses an open, and Griffin's gone straight through again. Maybe he's got a brake issue. I thought when we saw him at the top of the sweeper, the way he was on and off the brakes was locking the front wheels and then unlocking them again. Maybe there's a slight mechanical issue there. Have a look at it on the replay here. This is exactly what I was talking about. Locks it up once, twice, 3 times, and into the gravel he goes. And then it happened again here on the front straight. Just didn't even attempt to turn it that time. Just straight ahead through turn number 1. The Hancock corner here at Taupo. And that's cost him any chance of a podium finish. once again they head down this long front straight, and it all is dependent on your exit speed out of the sweeper. If you've got good exit speed, and I suggest to you, Jeff, that Ian Power has, and he might be mounting a bit of a challenge here, although maybe he's going to be caught out for track position. Hard to tell from this camera angle. Down into the chase they come. Paladin's got track position and will turn in first. Oh, Willie, no, he makes a liar of me, and round he goes. Now, how good is the eyesight, Jeff Story? Was the contact there, or did he just have a bit of an overreaction? I'd love to see a replay of that one. And this battle way down the field, remember, they're not even involved in the podium fight at the moment. So here we are on the replay from the slightly, well, I'm not going to be the judge, jury and executioner. I think he just sort of outbraked himself there. I don't think there was contact.
That corner is extremely tight. If you just overcook it going in there and you're late braking, there's quite a possibility it'll take it around. The wet road certainly didn't help.
Last lap of this Group 1 of the E30s in the Castrol BMW race series. Marty Irvine's got it on a string. He's got an 8.8 second advantage now over Richard Oxton, but he's a three-time champion in the E30s BMW series, and he's going to win this one as well. Marty Irvine out of Takapuna, coming down the long straight for the last time. 8.86 seconds to the good of second place, who at the moment is Richard Oxton. There is Oxton in the background, and right in behind him it would be Reid Harker. Once more through the chase they will come, and this man heading to another victory, and that would make it so far for Irvine a clean sweep.
Well, that's right. Richard Oxton has always been pushing Marty, and it's testament to both their driving that it's always extremely clean driving. You don't see too many ripples on Marty's car.
Checkered flag comes out, and it is the panel beater from Takapuna. Gets the win in Group 1 of the E30s. In second place, it will be Richard Oxton. Third place, right on his bumper, was Reid Harker. And in fourth, it would have been Royce Rollinson. So it is Takapuna's Marty Irvine, the dominant factor in the E30s here in Group 1. Richard Oxton through in second place. Then it was Reid Harker, Royce Rollinson, Matt Griffin, Mark Crompton, Ross Wilson, Philip Smurthwaite, John Thompson and Grant Rowe.
I was trying very hard not to make a mistake because, as you know, as soon as you start pinching brakes in the wet and getting on white lines and things like that, you just lose time and give that guy behind you the opportunity to come up behind you and put pressure on you. So as soon as he started getting a little bit closer, I started going a little bit quicker and just trying to get myself a little buffer.
Race 3.